go very well. I'm live, and I was planning on having my phone like this, horizontal, but then when I was going live, it said change it, and fuck, I don't say it. So I'm so sorry that I have to sort of fix this in a way so I can have my phone up here. Oh, why did it? I had it. Can I change it like this? No. And this is awful. So should I put it like this maybe? Will this work? Sorry guys, I'm so sorry. I need to have something like firm to put it. Oh yeah, okay, I can do it like that. So hi, and welcome to my live. Okay, it's sort of set up. Okay, maybe I should turn a little bit like this, so I don't want to hold it all the time. You have some lights in the air, and you have like my freezer in the background. But there you have it. Okay. Hi. It's my second live. I did my first live yesterday, and that was sort of like promoting this live here. So and I'm going to talk about my travels, because that's what I mainly put up on my YouTube channel, and I publish my traveling things I do. And I don't know if you're interested, but I was thinking about talking a little bit about how I decide where to go, and also, have I decided anything for 2024, for this year? Is there going to be a travel? Have I decided where, and how did I end up deciding to go, if I decided somewhere to go? You know? Yeah, so I've done a few like longer. If I'm talking about my first like long trip, I've done like some charters and weekends and stuff like that. But my first long trip was actually, I was going to Thailand, because in Sweden there's a lot of people that goes to Thailand, and I've never been there. This was like, I don't know, maybe this was like 8 years ago or something like that. And I was like, well, even a long time before that, I was thinking about I want to go to Thailand sometime, because everybody goes there. But I wanted not to go there for like a week, because it's a very long travel from Sweden. So I wanted to have at least 2 weeks to go to Thailand, and I had an opportunity to go out like I don't know if I started about thinking going 7 weeks, but it ended up a trip. It ended up like being a trip for 7 weeks. But my main thing was like, okay, I'm gonna go to Thailand, and where in Thailand do I want to go? This is I'm talking about my first trip. And then I was googling around and looked at the map, and I was like, oh, so Vietnam is very, very close to Thailand. I've never been there. Maybe I should go there. That's interesting. Okay, and so then I started to like, okay, so Vietnam and Thailand, and then I was like, oh, Cambodia. Cambodia is also in like sort of in between Thailand and Vietnam. And I also know that Angkor Wat is something you can visit in Cambodia, like a big temple area. It's like kilometers, it's like Swedish miles away apart. It's like, I don't know, maybe 20 temple areas, and you have to go by bike or by car between them. So I was like, is it possible? Maybe I should go to Cambodia as well. This is fun. And so I was starting to Google around, where will I go? Okay, I wanted to go to Cambodia, I wanted to go to Vietnam, and I was also looking up for, in what way, where should I start? Should I start in, because all the flights from Sweden sort of go to Bangkok in Thailand first, and then if you want to go further, you have to change. So I was thinking about maybe go to Thailand first and then. But yeah, so I was Googling around, and all of a sudden I saw this. I love waterfalls, and all of a sudden I saw this waterfall, Guangxi waterfalls. But that was in Laos. So I was like, where's Laos? Oh, it's also in there, in between Vietnam, Cambodia, and Thailand. And that waterfall was like a Disney waterfall. So amazing. So I was like, I have to go there. So then I Googled around the flights, and then I found a nice flight that went to Bangkok and then to Hanoi. That's the capital of Vietnam. So the trip that was starting with going to Thailand, it ended up going to Vietnam, Hanoi, and I went up to a mountain village, Sapa, and then and after that, yeah. And after that, I went to Luang Prabang, which is a city in the north of Laos, and where Guangxi Waterfall is. No. Sorry. I went Hanoi, and then to the mountain village Sapa, and then I went to Halong Bay, which is outside Hanoi in the water, where they have like limestone cliffs and everything. Beautiful. Then I went to Laos and the Guangxi Waterfall, and then I ended up going Laos and went down the country to Vientiane, which is the capital, and to Vang Vieng, and to the Thousand Islands, and then after that I went to a Mekong River tour. So I went on the Mekong River, very big river in Asia, Southeast Asia, and then I went into Cambodia with that boat tour. It was like 3 days or something. And then I did Phnom Penh and Siem Reap, and outside Siem Reap you have Angkor Wat, which is the temple area. And after that I went back to Vietnam. I went back to Hanoi. No. I went back to Saigon, which now calls the Ho Chi Minh city, which is is that the capital? No, it's not. Yeah, and then I was there, and then I went to Thailand. So I was only in Thailand for like just a couple of days, I think. So I really didn't do. No. I went to Thailand, and then I went to Koh Samui, which is an island. Yeah, blah blah blah. Okay, it's 8 minutes. It's gonna be long. Okay, so that was the first trip, and then I sort of some things up after that. It doesn't matter where I go in a way, because I've never been to none of these countries. So everywhere I go, it will be amazing, I think. So it really doesn't matter. So I was sort of also letting if I found a cheaper flight ticket to a certain country, then I was like, oh, maybe I should go there. So after that, I've been to Bali in Indonesia, and I was mainly on Bali and the island beside Bali, which is called Lombok. And the thing I did there, I did a lot of things, but I went up on the second highest volcano in Indonesia, that's called Rinjani. And that was a hike for 3 days up to the summit of Rinjani, the volcano in Lombok. And it was very, very hard, but so enjoyable at the end. So I went there for one trip, amazing. And then I went to Malaysia, and I sort of like did well, I did the rainforest in the middle and the tea plantations, Cameron Highlands also, but I also went around sort of Malaysia. So I went into the islands of Penang and Langkawi. Of course, Kuala Lumpur. I started at the capital, Kuala Lumpur, and then I went to the east side and went on Perhentian Islands and also Tioman Island, and then back to Malacca, which is a very beautiful town, before I went home from Kuala Lumpur again. So that was also amazing journey. And I've been to the Philippines, and also amazing. I went to Boracay. That was my first time. I went to Manila, and then to Boracay, beautiful island. I went down to, I think it's called Negros, Negori. It's very close to Boracay, which I did some stuff, and then over to Siquijor, a smaller island, which was very, very nice. I went to Cebu, where I saw a lot of waterfalls, and all of the waterfalls was very different and amazing. And yeah, I stayed in Malboal in Cebu, and I also swam with the sardine run there. And I went to Coron and did some island hopping kind of thing. Also, yeah, everything is amazing. And then I went, to Manila, and on my way back, I stopped at Thailand. I went to Koh Samet, which is an island like 4 hours drive from Bangkok. Yeah. So, and then a year ago or something, my last trip, longer trip, was back to Indonesia and Bali. But this time I also went on a boat tour for like 3 days. And I went all the way to Flores, which is a big island east of Bali. And very close to the Komodo Islands, where I saw the Komodo dragons. And on Flores, I went up to a mountain village where you had to hike for 2 to 3 hours to get to this mountain village, and you could sleep there, stay the night. And I did some other stuff at Flores, and then went back to Bali, and also a week in Thailand before I went home. So yeah, that's sort of the bigger travel, the bigger trips I've done. And as you see, I really love Asia, Southeast Asia. I love all these countries. The ones I haven't been to is Myanmar. But there are some, it's not really safe to go there right now because they have some trouble. So I will wait until I get there. And very close by you have Sri Lanka as well. That it's a smaller island where I really want to travel around. And of course, India and Australia, New Zealand. But that's not Southeast Asia. But I love Southeast Asia. And if I'm now... Oh yeah, and I should also tell you, also that was also a bigger trip. I went interrailing. And for you who doesn't know what that is, it's like you buy a card, and then you can go almost every train in Europe. Or where you decide the limits will be. So I bought a card that lasted for I think for 1 month, and then I took it around Europe and stayed at 7 cities. I stayed at Fussen, that was my first stop. That is the south of Germany, where I wanted to visit Neuschwanstein, Neuschwan's castle, Neuschweine. Oh, and I forgot the name of it. Neuschwanstein castle. It's like a Disney castle. It is actually the castle that Walt Disney used in his logo. So Neuschwanstein Castle, yeah, beautiful castle. So that's situated around very close to Fussen. So I went there and I saw that, and then I went to Verona in Italy, and visited the Arena de Verona and Juliet's balcony from Romeo and Juliet. Beautiful city. I continued to Venice and did everything there. Stayed very close to Rialto Bridge. And after that, I went to Dubrovnik in Croatia. Love it. And all of you Game of Thrones fans, they've done a lot of Game of Thrones recordings there. So I went to a Game of Thrones tour. Was one of the things I did. After that, I went to Plitvice Lakes in Croatia, which is up in the north, and so beautiful. It's natural and a lot of like terraces of waterfalls and big waterfalls and waterfalls in the woods, and just beautiful. I went around these 16 lakes for 2 days, and you could walk by the 16 lakes, very close to them, and also up on the hills up near. So you had like you could see the things from above. So recommended. And I went to Bled in Slovenia, a beautiful little city, and with a small island in the little lake, and they had a church there and stuff. So yeah, and all of these Interrail, you could watch my videos that I have on my channel here. So all the European cities have movies, and I have some from my first trip to Vietnam as well, and some other stuff, London and things I have also, and all the trip from my last trip to Indonesia and Thailand, there is also movies here. So you can just scroll along and watch them. It's like a video, a day blogging kind of thing. So you get to hang with me during my whole day. Yeah. So that's my trips I've done. And now let's go to will there be a trip this year in 2024? Well, I do have the opportunity to go on trip, and I was like, okay, where? And I immediately started to think about Southeast Asia. And maybe, Sri Lanka, or maybe going, I mean, even if I went to Malaysia and the Philippines and Indonesia, and I haven't seen it all. So I could easily go there again. And I mean, because Bali, I visited Bali the second time, and I had a lot of things to do that I didn't have time to do the first time. So, and I would love to go to Bali again, because there's things I've missed. So, but there also was one thing that in a couple of years ago, I was thinking about maybe going to Machu Picchu. That's like the Inca ruins up in the mountains in Peru, up in the Andes. But for somehow I chose Bali instead that time. So, but it's been sort of in the back of my mind that sometimes I would like to visit Machu Picchu. It's really up in the mountains, and you up on a big hill like this, the ruins are laying like that, and then there's all of mountains surrounding it. So very beautiful. And so I was like, should I do that thing this time? And I do have some. I can go away for quite a long time. So I was sort of juggling this back and forth, and I was looking at Peru, and I was looking at, okay, what can you do then more, because I don't want to be all the time in Peru. Okay, and I was like, okay, Bolivia is very close, and then I was thinking Iguazu Falls. That's big waterfalls, sort of like Niagara Falls, but Igatsu Falls is, I think it's sort of it's in the south of Brazil, and the border of Brazil and Uruguay or Paraguay, one of the two countries. So so one side of the waterfall is in Brazil and the other one is in Paraguay or Uruguay. So I was thinking, okay, maybe I could go and watch that waterfall. And I was like, on that side down there, it's very close to Rio de Janeiro and Buenos Aires. Maybe I should go there and do that thing. But I wasn't really sure. I was like, okay, so that's on the sort of the south side and on the east side of South America, and Peru is on the west side, and I didn't really felt it. I didn't get the feeling of like or happy or like I didn't get ecstatic about it because I didn't sort of figure out. And also you have to think about, okay, when can you go to Peru, because it's closed in the February, I think, February, March, and then so I can't go there before that because the weather is too awful. It's too rainy, so it's difficult. It's difficult to go there, and I think it's even closed. So there was this time issue, and I was like, and it's very far. If I should I do something else when I'm in Rio de Janeiro and Buenos Aires, or what should I do? And I didn't really got it together. And I didn't feel, I didn't get excited about it. And the thing that changed it all was Mexico. I haven't thought about Mexico. I was like, oh, Mexico was there. And Mexico is also, you have the Caribbeans on the, to the east of Mexico. And Mexico, you could have the Maya culture. You could see that the culture things and the historic things, and then they have water holes, cenotes, and the food is very good, and you also have very warm and beautiful places. Kind of, it got me the same vibe as Southeast Asia does. So I was like, oh, Mexico might be my Southeast Asia on that side. So that sort of got me enthusiastic. I was like, yes, let's go to Mexico. And then I was like, okay, but how do I fit in Peru, and how do I fit in Machu Picchu in this picture? And okay, Buenos Aires and Rio down there is it's very far down there. And Mexico is much further up. And I was Googling around and looking, and then I saw that, okay, Ecuador is there, on north of Peru, between Mexico and Peru. And what to do in Ecuador? Oh, Galapagos Islands are outside. So should I go there? Or maybe not. Oh, but that would be interesting, wouldn't it? And then you have Colombia, also between Mexico and Peru. I was like, Colombia? Oh, Google around. Sounds interesting. You also have Venezuela, also on the east of Colombia. And I was like, oh, I didn't Google around Venezuela so much, but there are a waterfall there, Angel Falls, and that's the tallest, do you say that? Tallest waterfalls in the world. It's 1 kilometer long, high. And you can go there. You can go there both. If you go there by boat, then you have to sort of go from the Brazil side into Venezuela, which is, I didn't think, no. So I sort of pushed Venezuela away quite quickly. Okay, it's not this trip that I'm doing that. But then you had Colombia, and then you have the Caribbeans. Maybe I could also go to the Caribbeans. I was like, that's fun. Should I end my trip in the Caribbeans? That would be really, really nice. Sun and island life. go to Cuba or Jamaica or Puerto Rico. Yeah. So all this like sort of mixing, and then I started to find a trip where I included Buenos Aires and Rio, and I was like, it's so like, okay, yeah, of course of course I could do Rio and Buenos Aires and that, but that, if I'm gonna do that, that is like, you need like 1 week in Rio, 1 week in Buenos Aires, and half a week in Ugazú Falls. So that's like 2 weeks, two and a half weeks, and then I would need to fly a long way to get to the other part, and I couldn't go to Peru because then it's too early in Peru. So I had to, yeah. So it was like, it was difficult for me to include Buenos Aires and Rio and Iguazu Falls. So I decided to skip that for now. Yeah, I decided to skip that. I don't know if I feel like it, if I find like a very nice route to something, I could go there. But for now, that's not in my plans. So I skipped Rio and Buenos Aires and Iguazu Falls, and that's, yeah, it'll have to wait for the next trip, because now the decision for now is, and this was actually, I bought the flight ticket yesterday. So I'm flying to, drumroll, sorry, Mexico City. Yes, I'm flying to Mexico City, and thinking about staying in Mexico for like 1 month or maybe a little longer. I'm also planning to do some Spanish lessons, because they don't speak so much English in South America and in Mexico. So, and I started already with Duolingo, and I did learn some Spanish in school. So I'm maybe thinking about, I'm trying to find like a Spanish school that, where I can have like an intensive 1 week or 2 weeks in Mexico, and I can combine, I'm thinking about having like lessons for half a day, and then I can do other stuff the other half of the day. So that's my plan. And do Mexico for 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. And then I'm maybe going to Jamaica for 1 week or not. And then continuing to Colombia and gonna do some stuff there. I found a hiking thing. You can hike for 3 days or 5 days to something that's called the Lost City. Doesn't that really sounds like Indiana Jones or something? The Lost City. I think one of his movies was called The Lost City. Yeah. So that sounds really amazing. And then my plans is to continue to Ecuador and go to Galapagos Islands and do that for 1 week or 10 days. And then coming back to Ecuador and then continue, and somewhere here I'm gonna go in the jungle of Amazonas. And I could do that in different, because it's not only from the Brazil side, because the jungle of Amazonas is, I think it's 5 countries that the Amazonas jungle is included in that. So you could go to the Amazonas from Ecuador, also from Colombia, but I've been thinking about, because after Ecuador I'm going into Peru, and I'm thinking about maybe going to the Amazonas in Peru. Up in the north of Peru, you go to a city in the Amazonas called Iquitos, and then you can go on a boat, on a canoe, and then stay like 5 days in the jungle. And that is actually where the Amazonas River is going, because if you go to, you can also go to, if I'm going to Bolivia, which is south of Peru and inlands a little bit, you could also go there into the Amazonas, but then you don't go to the Amazonas River. But if you go to Iquitos in Peru, you get the Amazonas River, which would be also a little bit more special because the Amazonas River is the famous one. But yeah, so going into Peru and doing a lot of things in Peru and going down north to Cusco, and also of course there you have Machu Picchu, where if I feel, if my body feel like it's manageable, then I'm gonna do a hike for 5 days, the Salcantay hike, 5 days and hiking to Machu Picchu. But it is a difficult hike, so it depends on how I feel actually, because if I'm not feel like I'm up for it, then I can take the train up and then do the last climb only. And then if I have time, I can go into Bolivia, because there are like Uyani salt lakes there that I wanted to see, and you have Titicaca Lake, which is the highest lake in the world, the highest from sea level, and yeah, and then going back to Peru, or staying in Peru and going back to going to Lima, which is the capital of Peru, and flying home from Lima. Pew. So yeah, there you have it. That's my next trip. Whew. And I sort of had like a travel, I don't know if you say this in English, travel fever. Because I feel a little like, I think it's because when I go, if I should go to Southeast Asia, I sort of know how it works now, because I've been there for so many times. And it's, even if it's different countries, it feels like it's quite similar. And also the level of the English language, and that they, in the tourist community, you can really talk English to them. But this is a completely different, and it feels a little bit more dangerous, because Colombia, the drugs cartels and everything, and so in Colombia, Ecuador, it feels a little bit more dangerous, so I have to be looking out for that. And also that they don't speak so much English. They don't speak English at all, almost. So that's why I need to learn some basic Spanish. Me llamo Magnus. Me habla español. It's very hard to just say stuff out of the blue, but yo quiero un taza de café, por favor, con azúcar y sin leche, por favor. Gracias. Så lite sådär har jag i alla fall lärt mig. Och har en liten stund kvar tills jag ska åka, så att jag kommer att lära mig lite till. Men did I just speak Swedish? Oh, maybe I did. Okay. So there you have it. But it is some time still before I leave, so I will have time to learn some more Spanish. Español. Hola. Yeah. And yeah, so do you have any questions or any comments, or do you have any recommendations? Write it in the comments, because yeah, I'm googling around a lot and trying, just writing down all the things that seems interesting. And then I think this time I really don't have like Oh, this I will visit this city. Yeah, I will visit some cities I know, and I'm thinking about going to Mexico City first, and then going to Puerto Vallarta, which is on the west coast of Mexico, and I think I will try to find to learn Spanish there, some Spanish school or something, because then you have also the beach, and you could do some activities there at the same time. And inlands a little bit, you have something called let me just check here so I get it right. Oh no, where is it? Where did I? Oh yeah, here. No. Guadalajara. Yeah, that's also sort of. It's east. It's you have like Mexico City, and then on the way out to the coast, you pass Guadalajara, and then you have Puerto Vallarta, and has so many stops here. I'm using my maps on Google to pin out. So can I watch? Oh yeah, I can show you. So here you have Mexico City, and then if you go here, you have Guadalajara here, and here you have Puerto Vallarta, where you can do stuff. But you see here, this is all pins of interest. But then, of course, and I probably will go here to Oaxaca, and then continue here. Maybe I should take it out a little bit. Yeah. So here we have Mexico, and then, of course, going out to the Yucatan thing here, because here you have the cities. It's here, right? No, Chichen Itza. It's oh no, not a good, but it's Maya ruins there, and then it's very, very. If you go to Holbox, Cayun, Tulum, they are very touristic places. So you see here, there's a lot of things, but I think Mexico City, Guadalajara, Puerto Vallarta. I don't know, maybe this. Here you have Oaxaca. Here you have also something. I need to look it up, and here. And then if we go out a little bit. So here you have the Caribbean. So I want to go to Cuba, but it's better for me to go to Jamaica and then to Colombia, which is here. Because Cuba and Havana is over there, so then it's a longer trip. But you never know. Here you see, that thing there is Angel Falls. So you need to, and here is Brazil. So you need to go from Brazil, from here, Boa Vista, and that way to Venezuela or Angel Falls. And I'm not close to, because all of this is the Amazons. All of this, you see. So it's in Bolivia, in Peru, Ecuador, in Colombia, Venezuela, probably also Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana. Yeah, okay. So here we have Colombia, and we have Bogota. I'm going to go to Bogota, of course, but I also want to go here to the Caribbean sides and down here. And we go down to Ecuador, where you can also do a lot of stuff, and then go out to, why haven't I pinned it? Where is it? I think this is the Galapagos. Yeah, Galapagos. So I'm going to visit like maybe 3 of these islands. I haven't pinned it. Okay. And then Ecuador here. Here you have Peru, which is a very long, stretches out like this. And here we have Iquitos, where I was thinking about going to the Amazonas. And you see, the Amazonas go all the way here. So it's very in the middle of the Amazonas. Very, very nice. I'm thinking about going here, which is Cuelap, which is also like ruins and stuff. Very similar to Machu Picchu. And then, of course, I'm going to go to this part here, where I can do a lot of stuff. You have Rainbow Mountains, I'm gonna go to Cusco, and you have the what's it called? Canyon something. The Forgotten Canyon. No, where is it? That's Machu Picchu. That's Machu Picchu, and the Salcantay is sort of there. But yeah, there's a lot of things. Ollantaytambo, I'm gonna go there, which is a town, and also this, yeah, Salerina's Ranch in Sacred Valley. That's what was the name. So I want to go there. So there's a lot of things that you can do around Cusco, and then you have, and then if I'm going to Bolivia, so you see here, so this is Peru, this is Cusco, and then if I'm going to Bolivia, this is the capital, La Paz, and this is Titicaca Lake. So one part of the lake is in Peru and one part is in Bolivia. And this salt desert is here, Uyuni, which is, well, there's no dinosaurs there, but it's like a desert of salt, which is very cool. So I would really like to go, but that is sort of there. That's sort of in the south of Bolivia. So I hopefully get some time to go there, and then go up and and then go into Lima, which is here. Sorry. Lima. Oh, yeah. So there you have it. And here you see, I printed out. There, you have Rio de Janeiro there. Oh, let me scroll in. You have Rio de Janeiro there. You have Buenos Aires there, and you have Iguazu Falls there. Here you can see how big it is. Doesn't it look amazing? So it's right in between. It's not that close to each other. It's not. But I mean, yeah. I mean, if I go there, but I don't think I need to fly over there, because all of this is like you can't go by. There are some roads here, but it's through Paraguay. So yeah, okay. You see, it's a lot of decisions, but there you have it. A lot of pins, and yeah, give me recommendations. If, like, okay, what shouldn't I miss? What shouldn't I miss? And also like different, like awkward kind of things. So like because I really like, are there like stone formations or things like that, or other houses that are very special, or do you have any kind of recommendation where, oh, maybe this would be nice of me to watch in these countries? Please let me know in the comments. And yeah, because the recommendation is the best kind, really. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up now. I have the shivers. I have the travel shivers, because yeah, it feels untouched territory for me. But I'm so looking forward to it. It's gonna be like amazing, and I don't know if I'm gonna. Maybe that's why I'm gonna want to squeeze in a lot and not a lot, because I don't know if I'm gonna come back. You know, but I can't do it all. And I've said to myself, sometimes I do too much. So I need to have, because I'm gonna be away for quite a while, so I need to have like a nice pace and have rest days in between, you know, just where you sort of get energy back. All right, that's all for now. My God, thank you for watching. And yeah, if you want to follow my travel, go. I'm putting a lot of videos up on Instagram stories. So go to Magnus Borén and on Instagram stories where I will post a lot of stuff, and then eventually the whole videos will come out on YouTube. But during my travel, I will post on Instagram stories. So there you can sort of see what I'm doing from day to day. So Magnus Borén, Instagram stories. Yeah. And what do you say in English? Like we say god fortsättning. Have a good days ahead on the New Year's Eve. Happy New Year, and so on. I don't know. Thank you, and yeah, have a good day. Bye.